his 8th DNF for this year. And Milcaduno also has 8 DNFs. Mario Moraes with 5, Muto, Di Silvestro, and Alex Lloyd with 4. Alex also out of tonight's contest. So Johnny Rutherford is at the front of the field once again in the Honda pace car. As the pace is slowed here with 88 laps completed, we're nearing the halfway point, and again Sarah Fisher is at the front of the field with Ryan Briscoe running second, Dario Franchitti third, then Marco Andretti and Will Power.
Hey, Bob, let's check in with Al Spire. They got a chance. The Firestone people have been able to look at the tires. What's the wear factor?
Well, yeah, Jack, we have engineers and technicians all up and down pit lane. So after that first pit stop, a wear check is very critical for us. These new Firestone Firehawks that we tested here in June are wearing exceptionally well. Some only 50% worn. So we get near the end of the race. I'm not sure anybody will double stint, but if it's just a few laps from the end, they could easily just take fuel and not change tires.
You know what? Time to recalculate yet again, because that changes a little bit of strategy when you know that maybe if you have to go maybe a stint and a half, you don't have to change those tires, you can make it real quick.
Saw Simona Di Silvestro get a new front end on her car, and now we get the 1 to go signal from Tom Hansing, who is the starter for tonight's race. Lindy?
EJ, your teammate Takuma says you hit him here in the pits. What do you say?
That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not here to say who hit who. I just pulling out of my pits. I listen in the radio to stay inside. That's what I did, and it's one of those race incidents. I think he's also with cold tires. I'm just in the inside. I had nowhere to go. In the other side, I need to really congratulate these guys. I had a winner's car. I started 16th. I was running with the leaders. Car was amazing, and it's a freaking shame that stupid thing took this out of our hands.
Bob, it'll have to be worked out between teammates.
His best finish was on the shorter oval at Iowa. He finished in 3rd position, and now let's try to get this thing back underway again. There you see the oval finishes for Sarah Fisher.
Wow, Ryan Hunter-Reay, you see him come flying down the low side again. People passing before the green.
But he checked up. He came with some momentum, but then he stopped all of a sudden. It looked like a little bit.
Race control tells Ryan Hunter-Reay to drop back.
Yeah, so he had that run.
He corrected
and then you saw that, and I'm like, well, it looked like he stopped, and he was being told. He was being told he better stop.
On board with TK, Tony Kanaan. He's running 8th. And Ryan Briscoe goes to the front once again, passing Sarah Fisher. Now here comes Dario and Marco to challenge Sarah.
Again, Marco's still cleaning that high side of the racetrack. And another guy that's always running high, as we look back to the kind of the cue as they come off turn 2 and off 4, is kind of that white car you'll pan back to, and that's Graham Rahal. He really likes coming off the high side of that race car.
3 wide now as Marco still tries to get to the top side of Dario.
And that is Graham right at the tail end, right behind Dixon was that purple. Yep. There's that quick trim car of Graham.
Saw in the pre-race show about one of Sarah's crew members, Kerry Hall. This is his last race, suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease. Now Ryan Briscoe, and we look back on the battle for second on back, and they go 3 wide.
You just don't get a sense of the banking of this racetrack looking back from that camera at that pack going 3 wide coming down in there. You got to get out and walk on this racetrack, or go in a streetcar and go slow, and it almost feels like it's tipping over. That gives you a better sense of the 18 degrees of banking around this place.
First 10 cars within a second of each other. On board with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Boy, Sarah Fisher likes that clean air.
Yeah.
She's staying there, and she looks in the mirror and says, wow, do I have a group of people on my tail.
Right on board there, Hunter Ray looking up there at Kanaan, just the movement in the car, just the loading up of that right side as you bury into this banking.
Once again, Ed Carpenter is a player running fourth.
Guys, I'm beginning to wonder if Ed Carpenter remembers that Kentucky battle that he had with Wyatt Briscoe. Because when you look at the overtake button, they started, well, everybody was fairly equal in the beginning of the race. But right now, Ed Carpenter has the most at 18 of the front runners. He is using them very judiciously. I think he wants all that he could have at the end of the race. Remember, that's what he tried to stay in the hunt in Kentucky last year.
Boy, that was a great race for Ed. We thought he was going to win it.
Yeah, I think what that also says, Jack, is absolutely how strong his race car is right now as he's working the high side of Sarah Fisher, chasing down Briscoe.
Kerry Hall, we wish you the best and thank you for your service to Sarah Fisher Racing. All the best to you from all of us at Versus. Now Carpenter challenges Sarah Fisher, but man, Sarah's just hanging right in there, isn't she?
Just shows you how evenly matched all these race cars can be.
And how much they love clean air. And the bottom of the racetrack, which Ryan Briscoe has both right now.
Yeah, that's where he's been impressive, is just how fast he's been with staying on that bottom. When Marco was challenging, he just stayed right on the bottom, coming off both corners, and has been faster than get out.
Another car on the move is the one running right behind this trio lined up is Mario Marias, who restarted in 17th on lap 90 and is now up to 5th. Down to Lindy Thaxton.
With Alex Tagliani and tags, it seemed Mira hit Muto and then hit you.
Yeah, it's a shame for the Bowers and Wilkins Store Cup machine because I'm so proud of the team. They did a fantastic job. The car was a rocket ship tonight. You know, we had a little bubble. We ran out of fuel and then we lost a lap. But, you know, the race was still a long way to go. Spotter did a good job, good restart, and then I got hit from behind. So I'm so disappointed, but at the same time, I'm so proud of this team because, again, just before the race, they got their car back, and we were really strong.
Tags, thank you. And we heard him say literally right before that, guys, you did an amazing job on this car. Bob, we're halfway through.
It's been a strong team all year long, really, for a first-year team. There you see the advantage enjoyed by Ryan Briscoe. It is about 0.8 of a second, but boy, behind him, it is anybody's game. We will take a break and be back with more of the Peak Antifreeze and Motor Oil Indy 300 from Chicagoland Speedway on Versus. Three wide racing at Chicagoland Speedway. Sarah Fisher is hanging in there in second position. She's gotten challenges from Marco Andretti and from Will Power, and she just will not give up that second position. Way to go, Sarah. Meanwhile, Ryan Briscoe continues to lead. He has moved out to about a 1.5 second advantage.
And he's just looking in his mirrors, kind of laughing, saying, you guys,
just
do whatever
doing
you
that.
do back there.
Hey, Will Powers on the overtake assist, trying to get by Sarah Fisher earlier. And wow, Scott Dixon got really high and had to dump the throttle.
He did, and Graham Rahal goes by.
Yeah, and we said once you got to get out of that throttle, the momentum shift, and we saw Graham Rahal just coming down the inside of him.
Ed Carpenter and Sarah Fisher now. Marco Andretti has taken second, and now Ed Carpenter inches ahead to third. And side-by-side racing is Mario Marias there on the left, and Tony Kanaan, with whom we ride.
He's got a bit of a run. There he pops to the high side. He's alongside Marias. You heard him just get out of the throttle a little bit there.
Just briefly.
And Marias comes back. So just that little hiccup on the throttle, boom, the guy comes back on the inside.
Will Power now moves to second position ahead of Marco Andretti. So the points leader and the guy who did so well on the road and street courses is doing quite well on the 1.5 miles. Thank you.
And check out his aggressive move, going to the top, way to the top, to try and make a sandwich there, and gets too high.